tell you a story. Here I am, the awake and brave, on a windy, rainy day, walking down the street doing blogging. Who does this? Not too many, to be fair. Lots of people do blogging. Some people do blogging when they're out and about and this and the other. But who does it on a rainy day? Who does it on a windy day? Who does it under an umbrella? Who does it just as they're going about their everyday activity? Just fitting in stuff, you know. I like to fit in stuff because I'm a busy bloke, you know. I'm a very busy bloke. And I've got lots of other activities that I engage with, which fill my life with joy and pleasure and hedonism. So, the story I want to tell you is about how we're all connected. Now, of course, you've heard this 1,000 times. Oh, we're all connected, we're all one. But you don't feel it, do you? You don't see it. You don't experience the reality of it. And so, very, very quickly, you slip back into your individuated selves with your own egos and your own personas that you project onto the world. And you consider that we're all very different and all very separate and all these sort of things. But there is, can you say, theories or fact? Who knows, people? But when we look at quantum physics have been telling us for a long, long time now, 100 years, that everything is one. We're all in one quantum field. Everything is in the quantum field. And everything is connected and entangled. So there's this thing called quantum entanglement in quantum physics, and it's a very, very strange phenomenon. But I won't even bother speaking about it now. You either know about it or you don't. If you don't know about it, it doesn't matter because it won't mean anything to you unless you know about it. You gotta know about these things, people. You gotta listen to them. You gotta listen to quantum physicists. You gotta listen to spiritualists, because spiritualists have been telling us it's all one for thousands of years. Quantum physicists have been telling us it's all one for 100 years. And why is it all one? Well, it's all one because, and also, by the way, one viewer in the comments says, "You're the only person that says that there is no physical matter here. It's wrong, stop it." So I sent him a few quotes from people like Max Planck and Albert Einstein, and I sent him a video of quantum physicists speaking about the very, very, very bizarre nature of the cosmos and how it could very, very easily be a simulation and how there isn't really any matter here and all that sort of stuff. But people don't want to accept it because it's too terrifying for them. And maybe their consciousness at this moment in time doesn't extend to accepting things like that, you see. You have to be much more broad in your thinking, people. You have to be much more broad in your knowledge, in your experience. You have to listen and read an enormous amount before you're going to get this stuff together. But not only that, you see, if you only have the knowledge which you've listened to or read, you won't have the experience. And so it won't mean anything to you. You've got to have the meaning also. So therefore you must have had to have lived it. Now, I've been listening to Alfred Whitehead, the philosopher. And in one of the things that he says in his philosophy, he said life is a feeling. Everything is a feeling. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, hello! The Awakened Brave's been saying that for 10 fucking years without ever reading Alfred Whitehead. So I'm gonna buy one of his books which he talks about this in, to see what he says about it. Because of course, if you go online and you're looking for this stuff, you've only got very, 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 very poor copies. You've got people talking about his stuff and making crap shit little videos with very little explanation and all the rest of it. You've got to buy the books, people. You've got to do the work yourselves. You can't just listen to idiots on the internet. And I'm always telling you, don't be fucking premising your whole knowledge bank on people like me. You've got to experience stuff yourself. You've got to take the drugs, people, at the end of the day. You've got to have the experience. You've got to live life. Otherwise, you won't never get anything. And so, the universe, according to Hindus and spiritualists and quantum physicists and many other people, religions, I suppose, in some way, everything is connected. We're all connected, people. And we're connected by fields. Now, I was listening to a video by a very, very learned gentleman and scholar. He's a doctor of some sort, scientist of some sort, Irving Laszlo. Some of you will remember, or know this person I'm speaking about. He looks about 90 years old. And the video is something like how we can prove that the Akashic records exist. Now, the Akasha has been spoken about for many, many years. And it's a realm of all information that ever has been, will be, and is. And in the Akasha, you can tap into the Akasha, and in my book I speak about how you tap into the Akasha, and I've tapped into the Akasha through personal experience. And so what I've done in my life, people, I've listened to what people have said, I've read what they've said, and it's all well and good until you've experienced what they've said. And when you experience what people have said, then you know it to be true to you. If you don't experience it, it's just words, people. How do you experience these things? Well, you've got to do the meditation, years and years and years. You've got to do the drugs. Yes, you've got to do the drugs. And you've got to put yourself in life experience whereby you are liable to encounter such things. Now, for those of you that have experienced the dark night of the soul, you would know how that came about, what circumstances. Mostly horrific, terrifying, tragic, and all the rest of it like that. Yes, we really need to be very, very compromised before the ego is going to wake up. Because the ego is a very, very powerful force. It's the operating system of the human being, and of course it needs to be powerful to keep us in this delusion of reality. There is no reality as we see it. It's very, very debatable whether there is any matter in the cosmos at all. What is matter is a very, very difficult question to answer. Because when quantum physicists look for matter, they can't find it. All they can find is fluctuating energy. And yet there appears to be a physical world about us. So the world is a paradox, the cosmos is a paradox, people. And there's all different sorts of people speaking about all different sorts of things. And they're all true in their own right. Everything is true in its own right. And so when people speak about we're all one, why Irving Laszlo said that he could prove that the Akashic Records was there is because nothing can escape the quantum field of consciousness. The cosmos is conscious. Everything within it is conscious. That's what more and more people are getting their heads around, because there's no other feasible reason for its existence. And because they don't know what consciousness is, of course, or where it comes from, well, of course, there's lots of people now. They're doing all different sorts of experiments, trying to discern what levels of consciousness other things have. And there's all different sorts of theories, of course, panpsychism and idealism, and varying trains of thoughts like that, which suggest, hypothesize what is conscious and what isn't conscious. But my adherence is, my experience is that the universe is conscious, and everything within it, of course, is conscious or within conscious. Now, people have a problem with this because they say, "You telling me this rock's conscious?" Well, ask yourself, what are the rocks made of? The rocks are made of molecules and atoms, and then further down, just energy. And the energy pertains to the cosmos, and it's all interconnected, and so therefore everything must be conscious, people, on some level. Every single atom or photon must be conscious. Now, to get your heads around the miraculous nature of that, just picture this. Every single one of our microscopic cells in our body has all the information to build our body in its entirety. How does that work? How is that possible? Something that you can't even see because it's so small, and yet pertains to so much information. Well, if you just copy and paste that to the universe, then they even speculate that there is only one atom, there is only one photon, and it's just everywhere at the same time, because of the speed of light being so exponential. But anyway, outside of all this stuff, people, which is just bamboozling and boring to most of you, I'm speaking on a more mundane, humane level. Now, I would say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every single human being, or semblance of a human being, every single ant, slug, snail, worm, bee, fly, everything. Thank you, cosmos. But bring it down to home, because people don't understand the cosmos. Bring it down to home. Thank you, all human beings. Every one of you out there is somehow, some way responsible for my blissful life. And some of you do some things which I benefit from. But if none of you do anything that I benefit from directly, you are paying into the coffers of the human race. And I benefit from being a member of the human race. And so within my house, there is a whole myriad of things that I wouldn't have a clue how to make. I don't make anything. I haven't made anything. I haven't invented anything. Other human beings have done that. And so now I'm living off the back of their ingenuity. And so when I look around my house and I see carpets and light switches and foodstuffs and tins and jars and guitars and amplifiers and all this sort of stuff, I never participated or contributed to those things in any shape or form to my knowledge. But somehow I have contributed into the human race by my very existence, because I'm a part of it. And so in my life, of course, I've owned businesses, and I've built properties and refurbished properties, and I've made something better than it was before, and I've been a service to humanity, and I've been a part of it. So I've been paying into it all my life in some shape or form. These days, it's not that obvious how I pay into it, because I'm obviously living a hedonistic life. I am sitting on my laurels, and I am not engaging in the workforce, but I am receiving all the proceeds from other people's labour and energy exploration. And so I say thank you, every single one of you that goes out and does something. You are partly responsible for what's going on in the world, what's going on in humanity. But on a facetious level, that's to say, on a joking level, you're all working for me. I didn't make this umbrella. I didn't make this rucksack. I didn't make these glasses. I didn't make this phone. I didn't make this selfie stick. I didn't make anything. I didn't make the shoes I'm walking in. Other people did that. Other people who are living on the planet now are responsible for that. They're making all these things for me. What are they getting from it? What are they getting out of it? An existence. Only an existence. And probably a sad existence. You know, working in sweatshops for very, very little money. Living impoverished lives and working 24/7 and all this sort of thing. You know, all these things that come from third world countries. You know, not necessarily third world, but like India and China and those sorts of places, making things mass production so we can just buy them for a pittance. This umbrella's like £7, and it's a masterpiece really. It's one of these umbrellas which is anti-wind, and so it's all sprung in there, so it doesn't become inverted. It stays like that. Somebody laboured over this, somebody thought about it, somebody engineered it, and eventually they're sold around the world for about £7. It's incredible. So everything that happens, as far as you are as a human being, it affects, like the butterfly effect, something else, somebody else. And so because of that, we have to know that we're all one. We have to know that we are all responsible for each other. We all have each other to thank at whatever level. When I look around me, someone has tarmacked this path here. It wasn't always tarmacked. 20 years ago it was just a dirt track. Someone tarmacked it and put lights up. When I walk outside my house, there's a shop just over the road. There is a doctor's just 100 yards up there. There is pubs and restaurants and all this different sort of thing. And seemingly they're all there for me, potentially. There's buses that go around routes all over the country, seemingly for me, just in case ever I should want to step on one. There are planes travelling over the whole of the globe, seemingly just for me. You see, if I looked at it from a solipsistic point of view, people, I can say, well, this whole world is just for me. Everybody does everything just for me. They've built the gym just for me. They work in the gym and maintain the gym and clean the gym just for me. Just so whenever I want to go there, it's available to me. The guy that works, or the people that work in the shop over the road from me, they just stand there and serve customers. They don't ever do anything. And I say to them, why don't you read a book or you watch something educational, you know, on your phone between customers? And it's kind of like, they just don't care about that. So therefore, I cannot conclude anything else but these people in this shop are simply there for me. They are there day and night for me. Whether I go into that shop or not, they are there waiting just for me. Now, some of you will say, oh, that's preposterous, Aaron. They're serving everybody. Well, I don't know that they're serving everybody per se. All I know is that the whole world is structured in such a way that produces a very, very high level of potential hedonism for me. Because I don't engage in any of it. Nothing at all. And so if I don't partake in it, if I'm not a member of the chain gang, if I've not been press ganged into something, if I'm not producing tins of beans and tins of soup and all this different sort of stuff, I don't know where this stuff comes from unless I look online for the manufacturing and distribution of it. And at the end of the day, where, you know, the factories that make all this stuff, where are they? Scattered all around the world. Do we ever see them in Britain? No, we don't see them. All that stuff is below the British people. It's farmed out to lesser people. Yes, so it's easy for us to get into this sort of like haughty position that we're better than everybody else. You know, oh, there's all different sorts of people, creeds and cultures that are labouring 12 hours a day just to make our life comfortable. And we just can walk into the supermarkets and buy this, this and this, and we can throw most of it away because there's plenty more where that came from. And money's no object, you know, because we're one of the richest nations on the planet. And, you know, if you watch videos like Gaza at this moment in time, if you watch videos with Ukraine and you see that there's just a concrete crumbling mass which has been bombed and bombed, and there are human beings dwelling among that, scratching a life, when you get up in the morning and you switch the lighter on and you pop into a piping hot shower, and you've got all the creams and all the lotions and everything that you so desire, and then you put the kettle on, and then you have a cup of coffee, and then you have some toast, or you boil or fry some eggs, and everything's hunky-dory, isn't it? You step out your house and you jump into your car or on the bus or on this, that and the other, and how wonderful, how pleasant. Are we gods? It appears like we are gods. In compared to many places on this planet, we are the chosen ones. We, in actual fact, are the chosen ones. You don't have to be Jewish to be chosen, people. You just have to dwell in a nation which is kind of like owned by them. Yes. So you don't have to be one. You just have to kind of like be owned by them. Be a slave for them. But there's levels of slavery, you see, because they make it such that we benefit from our slavery because we can buy this and we can buy that and we can be a little bit comfortable and all this sort of thing. And so, you know, I'm often picking and poking, aren't I, at certain people and things and human attributes, whole array of them. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm just being facetious. I'm just doing it because I can, people, and because the vast majority of people don't. They're all, hi guys, hey, if you like and subscribe, and if you want to support, and they're just begging, and they're giving you head. They're literally giving you head. They're giving everybody head and fellatio and cunnilingus. That's what they're doing. Beggars they are. I'm not begging anybody. People watch my videos or they fucking don't. They like and subscribe or they fucking don't. Makes no difference to me. It benefits me nothing. Nothing. It benefits me nothing. I'm not getting a single fucking dime or penny from making these videos. What else am I getting? Fuck all. Nothing. Some of you have bought my book, but at the end of the day, you know, the amount of books sold, to be fair, people, haven't even covered the fucking expenses to produce it. And so it wasn't a business venture, and I can't be asked to advertise it in any shape or form. Nothing. Any shape or form, except on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in below on each video, and sometimes I'll talk about it. But other than that, you know, it's just not important to me. It's not going to change my life. My life is completely bliss just as it is. And if I had £1 million, it wouldn't be any more blissful. It'd just give me a few more opportunities. I'd have a car and I'd have a chauffeur, and I'd say, take me here and take me there. Oh, I'd like to go and see a castle, or I'd like to go and do this and do that. Oh, there's something cool on the theatre. Yeah, take me there, and make sure I've got best seats, and you do all the bookings and everything like that. And so I just employ slaves, basically. I just become a slave master if I had more money. But as it is, what am I giving to the world now? I'm giving to the world my experience, my wisdom, my knowledge, whatever you want to consider it to be, that's what I'm giving to the world, and the universe seems to be happy with that, because the universe is providing me with everything that I could possibly need. I actually don't want or need anything. I've got absolutely everything. Who can say that? Who can say that? Every single day I get up out of bed, I've got everything I need. And so, and I live a very pleasurable, hedonistic life. And so, it gets me thinking, I must be God. Must be God. If I'm not the God over the whole world, well, it seems like I am. The whole world's working for me in some shape or form. Even people, whether they are packing chickens in Eastern Europe, probably some of those chickens end up on my plate, so they're working for me. People that are crunching rocks in quarries and things like that will end up on my roads and my tarmac, working for me. When we look around, people, you can think like this also. You can think that the whole world is working for you also. And it is, you see. Why? Because we're all one. We're all one, motherfuckers. So when I say things, you go, meh, 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 meh. But if you just own that perspective yourself, that the world is working for you, and the world is for you, the cosmos is for you, and you are God, because we're all one. Consciousness is our consciousness that is the one thing, that is God. And so everything that has consciousness is God, people, and everything is within consciousness, so everything is God. And for those of you that don't like me saying it, then listen to people like Alan Watts. Alan Watts will tell you every single day that we are God. He's got videos which say, stop pretending you're not God. Stop pretending you're not God, idiots. We're God. Fuck it, I want my money back. Look, my umbrella's become inverted. I'm telling you, just as I was saying this, the first time he's done it. It's the first time he's done it, just as I was saying, no, this is a great invention. And because he doesn't. Go figure. You see, the universe is fucking with me. Wow. Yeah. So whoever got millions of pounds for inventing this, money for a row, really. But what can you say? I suppose somebody else just better invent a better one. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it? Just keep progressing in some shape or form.